Welcome to Culver City High School. I'm Principal Dr. Lisa Cooper, and I'm honored to present this highlight of our 1920 school year. The school year was off to a great start. From August to March, things were normal and going as planned. But unexpectedly, this all changed overnight with COVID-19 and school closure, which I'll get to in a minute. But let's not let the first 6 months of the school year be forgotten. So let's take a minute to rewind. We started the school year off with staff professional development in the areas of equity, diversity, and culturally responsive teaching. The staff engaged in some very courageous conversations around these topics, which resulted in some action steps, and one being student focus groups for our student voices to be heard.
Good evening, board members. My name is Carlos Valverde. I'm Director of Student Activities and English teacher at Culver City High School. For several years at the high school, we've looked at data that has assessed student behavior, including the Healthy Kids Survey and other forms of assessment to determine both positive and negative behaviors of our students. At our school, we also were participating several years ago in professional development that looked at areas where we could improve with students, especially historically disadvantaged students. With some of our professional developments with Dr. Tyrone Howard and Pedro Noguera, one of the questions that Dr. Howard asked is, how do we level the playing field? How do we find the discrepancies to help some of the students that are often neglected or fall through the cracks? And so determining the fact that we are already a good school, one of the big challenges for us was, how do we move from good to great? Around the same time, we were discussing the importance of the student voice. And we needed to do more to listen to our students, to understand our best practices, to understand issues of inequity, and just other information that sometimes our surveys and other forms of assessments did not necessarily elicit, in which we identified 6 existing groups to start with. As Dr. Cooper may have already mentioned, students of color, high achievers, English learners, special ed, LGBTQ, and student leaders. I was very encouraged to see how open and honest the students were during these focus groups, especially when discussing sensitive topics. The thing about this is that on occasion, several of these students took the time to share their gratitude towards me and having had these conversations. They appreciated being heard. They felt validated and really were willing participants and really enjoyed the process. I'm a firm believer in action research, and I'm very thankful to Dr. Cooper for having asked me to conduct these. I think that while we share these results with our school, we've taken a good first step in the right direction in understanding our students a little bit better, in understanding our best practices and understanding how to address some of these issues. And really I am looking forward to the continued work. We may be barely scratching the surface on some historic and systemic issues. However, the results are putting us in a better place and into addressing the needs of our students. So I'm looking forward to the chance to continue, and I want to thank all of you, and hopefully that you all stay safe during this time. Thank you.
These 5 goals were developed by the staff after analyzing the student focus group data. Another highlight of the school year was our school-wide testing day. This was the first time at Culver City High School that all students grade 9th through 11 had an opportunity to take practice college-ready tests during the school day. This day took a lot of time and planning from everyone, but the results paid off. With 4 times as many 11th graders taking the PSAT, we expect more students to be recognized this year for National Merit Scholars. The school year went on, and our students continue to thrive on our campus every day, from the classrooms to the stage to the fields. But this all came in an abrupt stop in March due to COVID-19, and this closed the school doors. But although the buildings were closed, the staff was hard at work to transition over to distance learning.
Hi, my name is Nancy Byrne, and I'm one of the attendance clerks at Culver City High School. And I am making calls to all of our parents, and it is so gratifying to talk to them. They're so appreciative. They have stories to tell, issues to fix. They appreciate the calls so much, and many have noted that friends in other districts or out-of-state districts have never heard from their school district or a person by phone, and so they're appreciative of all of our staff.
It was very important to collect data during this time to make sure we were servicing the needs of everyone. We recently conducted a staff survey around student engagement. We asked what percentage of your students are consistently engaged in distance learning, what percentage of students that had D and F grades at the third quarter are still engaged in distance learning. And we also asked the top strategies that have been successful in keeping students engaged. And also we wanted to have feedback regarding the grading policy that was implemented. We also conducted a student survey on distance learning, asking them such things as how are they managing their learning and what we can do better. We know this will be a challenge for us, but we're committed to developing next steps and seeing them through. The administrative team still conducts classroom visits, just virtually now. I had the pleasure of dropping into an English class where the hot topic of discussion was the criminal justice system. Dr. Balatayo even walked the students through on how to get a digital library card to check out books for their research project. And then they went through their Canvas class and went through all the instructions and assignments for the week.
And the Zoom, I asked them to share their one thing. So usually their one thing could be, what is one thing that you learned about yourself during quarantine? Or one thing that you tried doing this week, or one thing that you want to accomplish aside from homework. My students take the time to show the class projects that they've done. So one of my students showed her little seedlings that she wanted to plant in the backyard because their project was to redo the entire backyard. One student showed us her clothes that she started painting on. Like she drew on it herself, and she's using tempera paint to just add details to it. So she's using her creativity, and how some students are helping out their parents clean the house while they're at work, things of that nature, where they feel most proud and most productive with their everyday lives. And again, it's something where I don't highlight the academic part. I give them the leeway to talk about the experiences that they're going through, and share their personal interests that we normally wouldn't know about unless we talked about it in class.
Revealed that personal connections are important. And moving forward, we will have to explore the different ways to keep everyone connected and well informed. We did a lot during the school year prior to the school closing, but I think it's also important that we acknowledge and applaud those the staff members that committed to providing the same resources and activities and events even while school is closed, for being creative in their ways, to using technology and exploring new ideas. Our College and Career Center continue to offer workshops and seminars, and acknowledging and celebrating our seniors that committed to colleges. Our guidance counselors are supporting students with their social and emotional well-being, academic resources and support, parent informational events, and even getting to know our future centaurs. Our teachers did an amazing job with little time to prepare, transitioning classroom instruction to online distance learning. School closure did not stop our other 3As from moving on. COVID-19 has really challenged us in many ways, but most importantly, it has taught us how to stand strong together. Thank you for all your support and dedication to Culver City High School. And before we go, can we please give a loud and proud round of applause for the class of 2020.